Hold on to your charging cords, folks, because the electric vehicle EV market is about to flip faster than a coin in a high-stakes game of heads or tails. After years of hype, sky-high demand, and industry-disrupting innovations, the EV craze might be reaching a critical juncture. As it turns out, more and more people are starting to question whether electric cars are the way of the future. From range anxiety to exorbitant prices, the list of reasons to stay away from EVs just seems to be growing by the day. It's not just anecdotal evidence either. Recent data is pointing to a real shift in consumer attitudes towards EVs. The numbers tell a sobering story. EV sales are starting to slow down, with some major players in the industry reporting disappointing results. Even Tesla, once the poster child of the EV revolution, has seen its sales and stock price take a hit recently. Just a few years ago, electric vehicles were all the rage. With the promise of zero emissions and cutting-edge technology, it seemed like the world was ready to make the switch to electric vehicles. Remember when Elon Musk first unveiled the Tesla Model S? The hype was off the charts. People were lining up for hours, eager to catch a glimpse of the sleek, futuristic sedan. And when the car finally hit the market, it sold like hotcakes, setting a new standard for what an electric car could be. Suddenly, it seemed like everyone wanted an EV. The excitement around EVs wasn't just limited to Tesla. Other major automakers like Nissan, Chevrolet, and BMW were jumping on the electric bandwagon, unveiling their EVs and advertising them as the next big thing in transportation. Consumers were intrigued too. With the promise of lower running costs and government incentives, it seemed like EVs were the way of the future. Even celebrities and politicians were getting in on the action, touting the environmental benefits of EVs and using them as status symbols. For a while there, it seemed like EVs were unstoppable. The excitement around EVs reached a fever pitch when Tesla unveiled its Model 3 sedan in 2016, with a sleek minimalist design and a price point that made it accessible to a wider range of buyers. The Model 3 was supposed to be the EV that changed everything. The hype was real, with people putting down deposits for the car before it even hit the market. Tesla received over 400,000 pre-orders for the Model 3 within just a few days of its announcement, a staggering number that sent shockwaves through the automotive industry. The Model 3 frenzy showed just how much people were willing to buy into the EV hype. The car wasn't just a status symbol, it was a symbol of progress and sustainability, a sign that we were moving towards a cleaner, greener future. But all that hype came at a cost. The demand for the Model 3 quickly outstripped Tesla's ability to produce the cars, leading to long waiting lists and frustrated customers. Elon Musk even famously took to sleeping in the Tesla factory as he tried to ramp up production to meet the demand. Elon Musk's desperate attempts to meet the demand for the Model 3 only added to the hype and the story of Tesla's struggles. Musk was the figurehead of the electric revolution, a larger-than-life figure who seemed to be pushing the boundaries of what was possible. But as the pressures of trying to mass-produce the Model 3 started to mount, cracks began to show in the Tesla brand. There were reports of quality control issues, customer service problems, and even safety concerns, all of which only served to fuel the media circus that was surrounding the company. As the problems mounted, it became clear that Tesla's ambition had outstripped its ability to deliver. The company was promising the world but struggling to even keep up with the demand for its products. And it wasn't just Tesla. As other automakers started to roll out their EVs, they too ran into issues with reliability, range anxiety, and high prices. The EV dream was starting to look less like a futuristic utopia and more like a poorly thought-out pipe dream. By 2023, the hype around EVs had started to wear off, and the cracks in the industry were beginning to show. The initial surge in EV popularity was buoyed by three key factors: environmental benefits, government incentives, and technological advancements. On the environmental front, EVs promised to significantly reduce carbon emissions and air pollution, which appealed to environmentally conscious consumers. Governments around the world also got on board with the EV trend, offering tax breaks and other financial incentives to encourage people to switch to electric vehicles. In the US, for example, the federal government offered a $7,500 tax credit for the purchase of an EV. Government incentives played a significant role in driving EV adoption. particularly in countries like Norway, where electric vehicles were exempted from hefty vehicle taxes and registration fees. These incentives made EVs a more affordable and appealing option for consumers. On the technological front, advancements in battery technology and charging infrastructure help to make EVs more practical and convenient to use. Longer range and faster charging times made EVs a more viable option for daily use, which helped to quell some of the range anxiety that had been a major barrier to adoption. Technological advancements in EVs changed the game. One of the breakthroughs was the development of lithium-ion batteries, which offered higher energy density and longer lifespans than traditional battery technologies. This meant that EVs could travel further on a single charge, making them more practical for longer journeys. Another major development was the introduction of fast charging stations, which could charge an EV's battery to 80% in just 30 minutes or less. This made charging an EV much less of a hassle and removed one of the major obstacles to widespread adoption. The early EV craze led to a dramatic increase in sales. According to the International Energy Agency (IEA), global EV sales grew from about 50,000 in 2012 to over 2.5 million in 2018. Analysts projected that this growth would continue, with EVs making up more than 20% of new car sales by 2025. Some even predicted that EVs would eventually surpass traditional gasoline-powered cars in sales, becoming the dominant mode of transportation worldwide. But those optimistic projections have not come to pass. Data from recent years shows a marked slowdown in consumer interest in sales of EVs. The IEA reported that EV sales declined by nearly 8% in 2022, the first year-on-year drop in a decade. This was due in part to the broader economic slowdown, but it also reflected a wider shift in consumer sentiment. Surveys have shown that people are becoming increasingly skeptical about EVs, with concerns about range, charging infrastructure, and price all cited as factors. There are several factors contributing to the decline in EV sales and consumer interest. The price of EVs remains a major hurdle for many consumers. While government incentives have helped to make EVs more affordable, they are still generally more expensive than traditional gasoline-powered cars. This can be a major turnoff for people who are budget-conscious or don't want to spend extra money on a car. Also, the infrastructure for EVs is still lagging in many areas, particularly in rural and less developed parts of the world. The issue of infrastructure is holding back the adoption of EVs in many parts of the world. While cities like Los Angeles and Beijing have a relatively well-developed network of charging stations, in many other places it can be difficult to find a place to charge an EV. This can be a major problem for people who live in rural areas or who travel frequently between cities. And it's not just a matter of having enough charging stations. The quality of those stations can also be an issue. Many charging stations are slow or unreliable, which can make charging an EV a frustrating experience. As the EV market has cooled, automakers have had to adjust their strategies to stay competitive. One challenge they've faced is how to make EVs more appealing to a wider range of consumers. Many automakers are now focusing on developing EVs that are more affordable, more practical for everyday use, and more fun to drive. For example, Hyundai recently launched the Ioniq 5, an electric crossover that offers a stylish design, a long-range battery, and a suite of advanced safety features. The company is positioning the Ioniq 5 as a more affordable and family-friendly alternative to Tesla's offerings. These cars are designed to appeal to a wider range of consumers, including families and people who need a practical, everyday vehicle. Many automakers are also focusing on making EVs more enjoyable to drive. For example, Porsche recently released the Taycan, an electric sports car that offers blistering acceleration and a luxurious interior. The Taycan is designed to appeal to Porsche's traditional customer base, who value performance and exclusivity. Similarly, Tesla is planning to release a plaid version of its Model S sedan, which promises to offer even more performance than the current top-of-the-line Model S. Despite these efforts to appeal to consumers, some analysts believe that the overall shift away from EVs may be due to a broader cultural shift. As the novelty of electric cars wears off, and as concerns about their practicality and price increase, some experts believe that people may be starting to view EVs as just another product category, rather than the cutting-edge technology that they were once seen as. One analyst writing in The Economist noted that the EV market is becoming more mundane, and that may not be such a bad thing. Despite the recent slowdown in EV sales, there are still many good reasons to believe that the electric vehicles will play a major role in the future of transportation. First and foremost, EVs offer significant environmental benefits. They produce zero tailpipe emissions, which can help reduce air pollution and fight climate change. In addition, EVs are becoming more and more efficient, with the latest models offering ranges of over 300 miles per charge. This is making EVs a more practical choice for everyday use and is helping to alleviate range anxiety among consumers. Beyond the environmental and efficiency benefits, there are also several other long-term benefits of EVs that make them an attractive choice for consumers. One major advantage is the lower cost of ownership. While the initial price of an EV may be higher than a traditional gasoline-powered car, the lower running cost of EVs can quickly make up the difference. EVs require less maintenance than gasoline cars, and electricity is generally cheaper than gasoline. In addition, the emergence of autonomous vehicles, AVs, is expected to further accelerate the shift to EVs. So there you have it, folks. The EV market might be experiencing a bit of a shift, but that doesn't mean the future of transportation isn't electric. Stay up to date on the latest developments in the world of EVs by subscribing to our channel. And if you have any thoughts or insights about the future of transportation, be sure to leave a comment below and join the conversation. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't be a silent viewer. Be a sharer and a shouter. Hit the share button and spread the word about the future of transportation. Until next time, thanks for watching.